had the weirdest dream that I was en route to the airport to take an international flight, left my carry-on on the shuttle, and then was desperately trying to find my carry-on as the shuttle circled back around to the airport, and it wasn't on the shuttle. And this went on for I don't know how long in the dream, and then finally I woke up, and guess what? It was next to my bed, my carry-on bag. And I just left.
Well, I guess symbolically, your baggage, you just left it behind and moving on to higher things, right?
That's a very good point. Very good point. I've got baggage I need to leave behind. You're right.
My dime store, dream interpretation for you.
Yeah, I was wanting to get to that pretty quickly because I woke up to all that and was trying to figure out what it all meant. And thank you. I'm now through all of that too.
Right. Sarcasm is a fun thing, right?
Right, and it was just so bizarre because they had a lost in town. Like when I realized it wasn't on the shuttle, they directed me to another area, and they were taking me to these other areas where it looked like the bag, but it wasn't quite the bag. And then I wish I had put one of those pieces of material on it that would really some people put pink or yellow piece of material on their bag to mark it, and it was just really bizarre. Truth.
Well, to take it further down the dime store diagnosis. Because you didn't mark it, you're not sure which baggage to let go of.
Right. It was a black bag, and it's that scratchy kind of cloth. It's not the leatherish smooth, and they would pull one that looked like it, and I was like, no, that's not it. It's more scratchy. It's not smooth leather.
So you're getting specific on the dark baggage. You're trying the black baggage, the darkness that's following you.
It was the darkness of the bag, which is the real. We're probably not going to get anybody listening because of this, but it was the darkness. I was in the darkness. Truth. We're starting to narrow it down now.
For somebody coming into the space, like, what in the hell are they talking about?
Okay, for those that just entered the space, I had a dream last night that I was on a shuttle going to the airport and left my bag in the shuttle, and the entire dream was trying to find my bag, only to wake up and my bag was right there next to my bed. That is the story, and now Truth and I are trying to analyze what it was really about.
We're dream interpreters.
Yes, this space is about dream interpretation at the moment. I'm subject to change at any second.
Now, was the shuttle going in circles, and was it the same circle that it was going in?
It was really bizarre. I don't even know what airport I was at. I don't even know what my destination was. If anybody knows why I had this dream, feel free to take a mic.
Yeah, right. You don't know what your destination is. Oof, that's scary.
I didn't even know where I was going.
We can make this a song, a luggage song, lost luggage song.
But the irony is that I woke up and the first thing I saw was the bag I had been searching for the entire dream.
That the answer was always there. Man, you got me started. I'm going to keep going. The answer is always right with you. Goats is probably able to talk. Good morning, Goats.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we doing this morning?
We're just analyzing Terry's dream last night. Super exciting. I know it's what you came for.
Well, I got about halfway there. I wasn't sure what a dream or a fantasy or what.
Well, Goats, like I said, the dream was about I was on a shuttle to go to the airport, from parking to the shuttle, to the airport, and I lost my bag. I forgot to take it off the shuttle, and the entire dream was trying to re-find my bag, only to wake up and that bag was there next to my bed. And Truth said I was in the darkness because the bag was black. Okay, but I don't know.
Well, I said you're trying to let go of baggage. You're trying to discover what baggage do I need to let go of. And then you said you're searching for it like, what is it? But then you wake up and it's right there. You know what the baggage is. You have it already. It's already packed. Man, I should get paid to do this, Terry. I'm sorry. I'll send you a bill.
I heard something about shuttle, and I thought you were dreaming of being on Bezos's rocket last night or something. Glad that wasn't it.
Wow, that's a total disaster for Origin, Blue Origin. Whoo!
And didn't they just sign some contract with NASA too?
I'm not sure. I know they were doing their version of Starlink, but this was so catastrophic. It was like their only launch pad there in Florida, which means they're going to have to rebuild the entire launch pad. I mean, this is, what a major setback for Jeff Bezos.
I didn't catch it. Did he blow something up again? Because didn't this happen before?
You didn't see that rocket explode last night?
Dude, I
Holy
don't have
shit.
TV, so I did not.
Well, I don't have TV either, but yeah, let's find that video. Hold on just a second.
Thanks, Goats. See, I come to this space, people think they're coming to get information from us. I'm the one like, well, tell me what happened.
They were doing a static test of the rocket on the pad, and this thing exploded. It looked like a nuclear mushroom cloud coming up, and it is not only is the rocket devastated, but the entire pad is devastated.
It's in the pill.
Thanks, Goats. See you there. Good morning to everybody kind of straggling in. Since we don't have any lovely voice here besides myself, Goats, and Terry, could you please go and like and reshare? Anyway.
The space started, for those that just tuned in, that I had a dream. I was on an airport shuttle to catch my flight. I lost my bag, meaning I got off the shuttle without my bag, and the entire dream was trying to find my bag, and it was a black bag. And then when I woke up from the dream, my bag was right next to the bed. I don't know what any of it means, but it was very bizarre.
And then we threw in Bezos, just so everybody knows that apparently his rocket blew up yesterday. Which Goats put in the pill for us? Thank you, Goats. Let me go watch this.
A shuttle of a different kind.
There it is, the shuttle. And the shuttle, Blue Origin shuttle, the airport shuttle, Goats has tied it all together.
Right, the black cloud, the black bag. Come on, man. This is writing itself. Yeah, this is like a meeting of the minds. We're trying to write a script. This is how it's done, dude. They just think of crazy crap.
I can't tell you how therapeutic this is, because Truth also said that I was trying to get rid of baggage. And now I'm trying to think, what kind of baggage do I need to get rid of? I mean, this is really helping me, guys. I can't tell you.
Sorry, I'm just trying to watch this blow up.
What's funny is go ahead, Goats.
There's several different angles that people have picked up of it, but there's this one where some guys are fishing, and I mean, they're a distance away. You can't tell. They're a ways away, but they're sitting there watching it. And, oh my god! And one guy says he can feel the heat from the explosion. And again, you can't really tell how, but I mean, it's a ways. It's off there in the distance, and he can feel the heat. He said.
What's ironic is I was listening to a speaker last night on a different space, and he was just talking. He was, oh my God, he was in Florida, and he's like, oh my God, the sky just lit up, and he actually caught a picture of it before the news even broke it.
Boy, oh boy. So I wonder, could it be sabotage? You know, does he have people working for him that don't like him because he's such an asshole? Talking about Bezos, not you, Terry.
And then when it happened, Elon tweeted, "How unfortunate! Rockets are hard." I don't know if that's a little double entendre there from Elon.
Well, he's a left brain thinker. You know, he's like, he had empathy for Jeff Bezos, and he just said it. They're hard, and they were hard. You know, if you look at his history, with X, there was a point where he was almost bankrupt. Matter of fact, if one launch didn't go right, he was all over with, and it went right.
The double entendre part is that Bezos's rocket is the one that looks most like a phallus, we'll say.
The wonders of the world. You came to this space to get this deep insight and information. I'm glad you're all here to witness this glorious display of human insight. So sorry.
Right. Like I said, we went from my dream of losing my bag on the way to the airport to Goat saying I was en route to watch the Blue Origin. And I'm still trying to grasp what that dream was all about.
Man, at least your rocket didn't blow up.
Don't even get me started on that.
I wonder if Bill Clinton was watching that last night.
Well, I wasn't, but I read about it. I was avoiding my wife last night. She was very upset with me.
Sorry.
Everybody talks about how their morning starts off bad. Okay, I had a weird dream last night. I woke up and I kind of laughed because of the bag I was looking for, and the dream was next to the bed. But Bill Clinton has to wake up to Hillary Clinton every single morning. Think about that.
Out.
But does he really? Because, I mean, I think it's beyond the I Love Lucy days of the separate beds. I think it's separate houses.
And when they're together, they've got to be sabotaging each other. Like he's probably in the shower and she walks in and flushes the toilet just to have those few seconds of joy, knowing she just burned Bill.
Well, remember that video a couple weeks ago where they were standing at a crosswalk and he kind of nudged her and everybody said he was trying to push her into traffic?
Yes, I saw that.
Hey, another thing on another subject here. Did anybody happen to see that Mike Tyson and Theo Vaughn conversation from a week or so ago? It was on Theo Vaughn's podcast.
I can't remember. What was it about?
I mean, it was just all over the place. It was just a great conversation. I mean, it was. I love Mike Tyson so much because he has come. I mean, he's been my whole in the media, my whole life, and just to watch where he's come and how he has dealt with life and the wisdom he has gained from it. Because I mean, he's not a dumb guy. He's a pretty smart dude, and he's got a lot of good stuff to say. Theo asked him at one point. He was like, do you ever wish that your growing up would have been a little easier? And he said, absolutely, hell no. He said, I live in the struggle. I love the struggle. The struggle made me. And Theo was like, so you think if you'd have grown up a little easier, you would have been heavyweight champion? And Mike Tyson said, I'd have been heavyweight champion to the bitches.
Did anyone ever watch the interview he had with Barbara Walters when he was married to
Robin Givens?
I knew it was over with for him when she started talking about how she felt unsafe. I was like, oh, you better get a good lawyer, my friend. Mike's like,
Robin, why are you doing this to me? Why you set me up like this on national television?
Oh, that poor dude. He went through the crap quite a bit, but if he did put hands on a woman, I don't care who you are, you don't do that, but period. But yeah, she was definitely not for him, only for the money, which is unfortunate.
The thing with him, and obviously you have to take responsibility for yourself, but I don't think I think people in his life, obviously, you could cultivated his anger instead of, trying to help him deal with it. And again, if he dealt with it, he may not have ever been heavyweight champion of the world either.
Well, I think all that crap that happened to him, it just pent up so much to lead to the biting off of the ear. Seriously, like it was just so frustrating. He's like, man, stop moving, and he just bit his ear.
And that's what impresses me about listening to him now, because he has grown so much from all that. I mean, he really does have some good wisdom of coming through the fire if people listen to him.
Yeah, for sure.
Mike Tyson has probably been one of the best fighters I've ever seen in my lifetime. The guy at the age of 15, beating up grown men. He would knock them into another zip code. I mean, this guy was amazing fighter.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I think they used to ask, would you jump in the ring with him for $1 million? I'm like, hell no, just no. Dude, his uppercut, man, people thought their head was gonna come off,
He came from the floor with that uppercut. I mean, because he would come from almost a bam.
I mean, he had muscles on muscles on muscles on his back. He looked like a cobra from behind. I mean, he had grown up in a really tough life, and Gus D'Amato had discovered him and put him in his boxing club, and then he became very close to Gus, and then Gus passed, and that really hit him hard. But my Lord, that kid, Tyson, ooh.
And when you listen to him talk about Gus, he can rarely do it without getting emotional. The love that he had for that man.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. He'll definitely go down as one of the greatest. Obviously, a lot of people give credit to Ali where credit is due, but there's a lot of great fighters that never actually got all the press, have you guys, Jen J. Braddock, have you heard about that fighter, that story? I mean, they made it into a movie, but you know what I'm talking about?
Is that the Rocky?
Braddock?
No, Jim J. Braddock, awesome story. During the Depression, the whole nine, he was basically, turned into nothing, and his career was over. He broke his hand. The movie that was made from it was Cinderella Man. I don't know if you guys ever saw that with Russell Crowe. It's actually one of his first big roles. Great story, true story, an amazing fighter, beat against all odds, the whole nine.
Right, that's the movie that inspired Sylvester Stallone, or that's the person that I think inspired Sly to write Rocky, wasn't it?
I don't know. It could very well could be. That I don't know. No idea.
Okay, here's a question for Goats. Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson, and they're both in their prime.
See, I mean, isn't that just the all-time question? I am not old enough to have seen Ali really in, obviously seen videos and stuff, but to live it, I think is different. God, Mike Tyson was a bad dude. I mean, man, he was bad. He was a bad dude. But I mean, Ali, the thing he could do is he could wear out them bad dudes. You do that rope-a-dope, and let you just wear yourself out. So I don't know. That's a Jordan Magic question, or all those greats of different eras.
Well,
It's a hard argument.
Dude, I mean, Foreman was no chump. Foreman in his prime, he was a big boy. I know everybody came here to join and talk about old boxing stuff. So anyway, feel free to come on up here, folks. We're just chatting away because nobody seems to want to come up. But it is...
If you got something different to talk about, get your ass up here.
Right. It is Friday, so we're just trying to chill. We talk politics all damn week, but we did, the Goats did put down an appeal the blowing up of the rocket last night from Bezos. So that's exciting news.
What's so, like I said, catastrophic about this is Bezos only had that one launch pad. This was his only launch pad in Florida to work from. So whatever was happening there in Florida is now done until this is repaired, and it's going to be a long time.
Well, and then I'm sure other launch pads, if he tried to reach out like, hey man, can I launch a rocket from your launch pad? They'd be like, no, it's okay. Jeannie came up. Good morning, Jeannie.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in here because every time I see Matthew on here, I'm like, oh, I keep forgetting. So I'm doing this thing called Common Sense Medicine. Sense is CENTS, and it's an educational platform. And I'm going to be highlighting people that I've met on X, and so I really want people to input. I want to build a website. I've got a website underway, and I want to highlight the people that are working on various projects, whatever they are. And then I'm also writing a book called, what do I call it? Breaking America's Addiction to Healthcare. And I'm going to be highlighting people in there as well. So, what I wanted to ask Matthew is I would like to highlight the gal Casey, I think her name is, the one that does the work with the cattlemen and the ranching, and have a whole area designated just for regenerative farming and cattle and resources for people so where they know where to go, that type of thing. It's all just a collaborative educational resource that people can go into and look and see. And the more people that join, the better. So that's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. All right, that's all I got to say.
Cool. Yeah. Everybody's got something they're passionate about, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of support from a lot of people in here. And yeah, Miss Casey is working hard for the American Rancher Alliance, and that there is a lot of stuff going on in the background. We are so close to actually officially launching so that you all can buy some beef that you know where it comes from here in America from real ranchers, So when that happens, of course, we'll let everybody know. But the goarabeef.org is the website. Go there, check it out, see what we're doing, and jump in and help however you can.
Say it again.
We have flyers. goarabeef.org. It's there's a lot going on. We have flyers that you can just download and pass out if you can't help out financially. It is a co-op. It's a bunch of ranchers across the entire country that are getting together or have been getting together the past, getting close to a year now. And, there's a lot going on with that. We have an app that we've been creating so that people, when they go to buy, there's a QR code on our logo. You just simply scan the QR code, type in the batch number of the meat that you bought, and you will be able to see where that meat came from, what ranches it passed hands through, what it ate, the whole nine. So it'll be good. Go ahead, Goats.
I just wanted to say to Jeannie, I can't wait for your book. That sounds awesome. And then the other thing, oh yes, I was talking about that deal with NASA. It was Blue Origin 3 days ago just signed a NASA's part is $188 million of taxpayer money. 188 million. So signed it just 3 days ago, a contract with NASA. I don't know, who knows if that's a conspiracy, a coincidence, but yeah.
Here comes the conspiracy theorist stories we're going to see on X. Jeannie, in this thing that you wrote, is there anything about dreams? And I would highly advise you to not put the original in the in your baggage if you're going to the airport. And I'm not going to let this go, Truth. I've got to figure it out why I had this crazy dream.
What's your crazy dream?
Okay. We started this space off with my crazy dream. I had a dream last night that I was on the way to the airport, got on the shuttle, was on my way to to the terminal, got off the shuttle, and left my carry-on bag. And the entire dream was trying to recover the bag. Ended up in a lost and found department. And there were bags that were very similar, but not exactly mine. And I woke up, and the first thing I saw was my overnight bag, which was by the bed. I mean, it was just the craziest loop dream I've ever had. One of the few craziest.
I got the answer. The answer is stop trying to carry your baggage along with you on this journey. Just go to your destination, do what you got to do, because that baggage will be there when you get back. How about that?
Wow. That aligns with what Truth said.
That's because Matthew's my brother.
I probably would have had to pay a therapist $150 an hour to get to what you and Truth have just said.
Well, I told you I'm sending you a bill, bro. So you didn't get off cheap. You paid more with me.
Well, okay, let me just spin it a different way. Since the first thing that I saw was the bag when I woke up, is it possible what I was looking for was in front of me the entire time?
It always is. That's what I was trying to tell you. The truth is always right in front of us, right?
Yep.
When
It's never hidden. It's never, ever hidden. And it's really interesting to me because I'm like, people always tell me, oh, that you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm like, oh, back off, Satan, because through Christ, I can do anything. And if I keep saying that to myself every single day, I leave that baggage and I go to where I'm supposed to go. I just think about, find your passion. It's like, well, what do you wake up every morning and want to do? I sure as hell don't want to. Everybody hates their jobs. I'm sorry, but please. And I had DEI training yesterday. Let me tell you, what a load of bow hunky. Anyway, I've got to shut up and go back to work.
Well, the worst part of the dream was I was trying to catch a flight. And for every minute I was spending trying to find the bag, I was getting closer to missing the flight. That's what was so horrible about it.
The point is, don't miss the flight, Terry. Don't miss that flight.
Sky rockets in flight. Boo! Afternoon delights. Anyway, I saw Russell came up. What's up, Russell?
Happy Friday, guys. Here we are, another one. What's going to happen by the end of the day today, huh? But I just wanted to share a little information with you. I got the news channel in Birmingham wants to do another interview with me because of the settlement thing they're talking about. And I'm just kind of wanted to maybe poll you guys on what you think. I've dealt with this guy a couple of times. He called me right after I was charged 5 years ago, and I wouldn't interview with him because he didn't know nothing about nothing. He's just a young kid, and anyway, he came up and did an interview with me. I don't know, about 6 months ago, and they keep they will not stand up and say that the 2020 election was stolen and that our government is treasonous and what they did to us and all that. But now all of a sudden, all they want to know about is the settlement and what my I don't know what my take is on the settlement. And I didn't go to DC in the original to start with to make any money. I went there because I was doing the right thing. I thought I was doing the right thing for me. How's that? And this kid, he didn't put anything from my last interview down that leaned towards the Americans that are the religious Americans, or the, I don't know what you want to call it, the people that are on our side, on the right side. And I just would like to know. I'm thinking about just writing a statement and tell him he either prints the statement completely or he prints nothing. And but I just, it's still all a conspiracy theory to them. No matter what is out there in the news right now, or the 2020 election was stolen, J6 was created, and the money doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, I see what money does to people, and it's not usually a good thing. I've been around some real rich folks, and you guys were talking about fighting and stuff, but I worked for a guy named Arlen Dunn that fought Joe Frazier at one point, and they had more money than sense. They lived in Westlake Village, California, and had just stupid money, and they were the most unhappy people that I was ever around in my life, and it's just, this money is not where it's at. Okay, I want to see these people pay for what they did to us intentionally. They didn't just happenstance do this. They planned this for years to do what they did to us. And it's not just me. It's the country. What they've done to the country. My grandkids are gonna have to grow up in this mess, and they have no clue of what this place was in the 70s and the 80s. And I would just like to get you guys, what do you think? Do you think I should just make a statement? Or, I know all he's asking about really is the fund, you know what I'm saying? So that really is none of their business as far as I'm concerned. But I called Trennis Owens last night, and I asked him, I said, what do you think? And he says, well, he told me, he said, Rusty, you need to do it, because if you don't, they're going to get a hold of one of the loony ones. So anyway, I'm just, let me know what you think.
Well, just always be cautious, man. I've spent a good portion of over 35 years of my life in the freaking film and television industry, unfortunately. And they'll spin anything, no matter what you say, how you say it. So you just got to be really cautious and very direct in any kind of answers you give, man.
Right. Well, I've kind of established that with him now. I even called him after the last interview he did, and told him, I said, well, you didn't put anything in there that has any inclination of what I was up there for, or what was going on, or what is going on. You guys are still spinning the narrative your way, and won't let the truth come out. And all I want is the truth to come out, And I done a little bit of film work too. I understand the politics involved in all that. All they're doing is trying to make sure that they look like they're doing something so they get a paycheck. I got a Teamster run off a movie because of the fact that he was just in the way, and that was supposed to be my help. But anyway, I appreciate your thought, though. I know I don't know what kind of television experience or whatever. This is a movie I did, and I've only been on one crew, but there was 2,500 people on this crew too. So
Yeah, man, I started when I was really young. I was actually 16. And one of our friends that I grew up with, his dad owned a backing company. So I got a job as a grip. And the first thing we did was the movie called Space Camp. I don't know if you guys remember that from back in the 80s, 84, 85. Anyway, so that's how I got into it, just being a grip,
Right. Well, I had a friend of mine, I've done paint and body work all my life, and I worked for this guy. After my regular job, I helped him. We built a couple of specialty vehicles for SeaWorld and stuff like that. And then he told me about this movie was coming up, and he told me about it 2 years before it ever came out. It was right after the first Fast and Furious, and it took 2 years for him to get all the stuff together to do the second one. I worked on the second one, and I painted over 100 cars for that movie. And one of the guy that hired me, John Weiser, he's passed now, rest in peace, but he got caught. You know, he was doing some logistics and facilitating some equipment and stuff for the movie, and he got caught double dipping with Universal. In other words, selling Universal stuff that he found and marking it up, you know, and got paid, you know, his normal rate. And anyway, so they didn't fire him because they wanted him there because of his connections, but they took him off of being my boss. And Ted Mosier, that owned Picture Car Warehouse, called me up and he just asked me, he says, "Do you think you could do this deal?" And I'd never done it before, but anyway, he says, "Well, this is what I need, and here's the schedule you need to operate with, and here's all the colors that you need to do." And he says, "You need to hire 4 people and a secretary and figure this out." And I did the whole thing, and it was an eye opener. Let me tell you, it was trial by fire. And needless to say, with all the politics and all the Teamsters and the people that have been in the business for a long, long time, and it was just, you know, I was at odds with them a few times. Ted Mosier, I called him up and was telling him what was going on, and he says, "You know what, Rusty, if you do something that I feel like that you shouldn't do, I'll call you. Quit calling me." He said, "You're doing what I want you to do, and don't worry about it." You know, because I was nervous about, you know, stepping on toes and hurting feelings and stuff, you know, but I ended up coming out smelling like a rose. But it was a hell of an experience.
Yeah, I can relate, man. People get nervous, but then people also, after a while of in the industry, you just get so cold, and you know, and then especially the little PAs that go run around talking shit to everybody, acting like they're the king, but they're barely above an extra and all that kind of crap. But anyway, nobody came here to listen about freaking film.
Right.
But did Paul Walker come in and say anything or ever comment to any of the actors, ever get any kind of?
I went and ate with him a few times, and I got to go to the party at the end, you know, the Brett party. And you know, they're just like we are, you know, that Paul Walker himself was a nice guy, and Ludacris, and you know, I met a bunch of them they were decent people. You know, we didn't have anybody. The only people that were kind of out there was the art director, and you know, I had to deal with all of them because of the colors and stuff that we had to spray them. But that's about it. Like I said, I was just, you know, I came in to find out about what you guys thought about another interview. You know, like I said, I'm afraid that, you know, the people, you know, no matter what I say, the people out there are thinking that we did this, you know, in January 6th, 2021, we went up there to make money. that's what they think. But we all did time in prison, you know, and there's a bunch of nut jobs in the J6 community. I mean, there's you wouldn't believe some of the stuff I see, and I don't get involved with it all. You know, they act like we all know each other. We don't know each other. I mean, the only person I've met that was involved was in prison up there, and he showed up about 2 weeks before I left. You know, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, if it were me, bro, especially after a guy kind of burned you, I'd tell him to go pack sand. But that's just me. By the way, everybody, Marlon, this is normally his space. He is in here kind of lurking around, but he's in an area that has crappy signal. So if he doesn't come up, don't take offense. But this is his normal space. It is Friday. We're just obviously randomly talking about stuff that's a little bit off wall, I guess. You know, you can talk about whatever the heck you want to talk about, but as far as, you know, what you just brought up there, Russell, that's just my 2 cents. I'd tell him to go pack sand, but that's just me.
I appreciate that, and that's kind of where I'm standing on the edge. You know, I don't like what he did to the last one, and unless he prints something without taking it in a different direction, I'm not interested either. It's not going to change what I'm involved in.
Right, and then if they're going to tell you, oh no, we'll do this, go, yeah, great, put it in writing, put it in my contract, And when I see everything in writing and I approve it, then yeah, I'll do an interview. Other than that, you know,
Right.
there's a flagpole over there. You know what to do with it.
Well, it's good talking to you folks this morning. I got some stuff I got to do this afternoon, and I guess I got to respond to this guy, or I'd just be plain old rude, and that's just not me. But anyway, happy Friday, guys.
Happy Friday to you too, Russell. And just one quick question before you leave: Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali. They're both in their prime. Who wins that fight?
Tyson. I kind of had a little experience with Tyson when I was younger too. I was living in the San Fernando Valley, and there was a bunch of fight guys that were hanging around the body shop that, you know, they all drove whale tail Porsches and all kinds of stuff back in the day. And Tyson was an animal. And I don't think that, put it this way, Tyson would have got hit, but I feel the punches and the bricks in his hand would have broke some ribs, and you couldn't do that against Tyson as well as some of the other guys. You know, I saw how it is. I've seen Ali. You know, I was a kid. I watched Ali, and I just think that Tyson was. I mean, shit, he bit somebody's ear off. That's serious.
Well, he actually bit his ear twice. The first bite, the referee stopped the fight and warned him. The second bite was where it really took a big piece of his ear. And when they asked the ref, why didn't he stop it after the first bite? The ref said the first bite always goes to the dog. And I never forgot that.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I figured it too. He was an animal, and he was so young, and no telling what was influencing him in his mind back then. But you know, I wouldn't want to jump in the ring with him. That's for sure.
I'll never forget the first time I heard Mike talk.
Yeah, it was a good fight, and I hit him with everything that I had, and he's a heck of a competitor.
You need to take up another line of work there, Terry.
And Mike, if you're listening, Terry's address is no, I'm just kidding.
Don't start, Truth. I'm still processing the dream. If we have any dream interpreters, please take a mic. I had a really wild dream last night that I'm still processing.
I think we interpreted it, quite frankly. I do, but
I've got a couple of opinions, and they are helping me, but
anyway, well, good morning to those of you who are joining us. It is Friday, and we just usually chill out. We've been talking politics all damn week, so hopefully it just sets you up to go into the weekend with a good attitude. Because Monday turns around, well, I'm sure we'll have something crazy to talk about. Kind of weird timing, though, isn't it, on this whole UFO disclosure, and Spielberg's got a new film regarding that? Is that anybody catching that?
no, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, let me look it up.
While you're looking, there's another controversy kind of brewing right now in which we're supposed to have the oh crap, I'm trying to think of it. Oh, great, I step in to help you, and I can't even think of what I'm talking about. The Great American State Fair is a 16-day celebration that runs from June 25th to July 10th, 2026 in D.C., and it's to celebrate, obviously, our 250 years. And there are artists that have, I guess, had committed, like Martina McBride, the Commodores, a few others, and now they're withdrawing because they feel it's too partisan. Now, how can it be partisan to celebrate our 250th anniversary? Because hello, I mean, to me, that is just so stupid.
Right. By the way, sorry. I thought it was. I just didn't want. It sounded so simple. But the name of the film is Disclosure Day. So just FYI, Spielberg's new film coming out whenever the hell it's coming out, June 12th of this year, called Disclosure Day. So there you go.
And this all ties in the alien reveal.
Well, yeah, you know. Did you guys see the thing from the White House, Trump, where it's aliens.gov? You got to go to the website. It's fantastic. So anyway, I don't want to spoil it.
He is the ultimate troll.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, I think goats would get a kick out of it. Go to aliens.gov. Check it out, folks. It's a website. White House posted about it yesterday.
So, what are your thoughts, Truth, about some of these artists pulling out of the this event to celebrate our country's 250th birthday?
You know, some. Yeah. Well, you do you, right? It's just if you're not here to celebrate our 250 years, or you got any damn problem with it, just leave. I don't care about your opinion. It matters nothing to me. You know what I mean?
Well, Martina McBride alleges that it's too partisan, but yet she, I guess, performed at some Democrats' inaugurations, things like that. It's just kind of funny how selective they can be.
Never even heard of her. I'm just being honest, Terry. I really don't even know who the hell you're talking about.
She's a country western singer.
Oh, not for long if she's saying shit like that. I can tell you that much.
She's pretty much washed up already anyway.
And like I said, it's not just her. There's 3 or 4 other groups that have now pulled out, for this event.
It's just silly. Like, okay, just shoot your career or whatever you want to do. I haven't they figured out the whole woke agenda just goes nowhere, leads to hell. I don't get it.
I just don't understand why people can't set their political differences aside just for a week of celebrating our country, regardless of whether you're a Democrat or Republican. You're at least thankful that this country was founded and we're here 250 years later.
Well, again, the big lie, they're trying to make it about the whole illegal immigration, which they try to say, oh, these immigrants, there's whatever crap they're trying to pull off. Look, this country is definitely founded on people coming and trying to get a new life and, live in a free society. That's the beauty of it. That's why we have this country. But you do it legally. You come here with the intent to become American, to leave behind all the crap from your shithole country and try to be as American as you can, right? With the ideals of freedom, the whole nine. Don't bring your shit here. That's it. So it's not that we're against immigration. We're for it. We're for legal immigration, which has another side to it. When you come here to immigrate, you're coming here to become American. And that's as simple as it can be. And anybody who has some other stupid argument, oh, they have rights. No, they don't. They're not here legally. They have zero rights. Our Constitution doesn't apply to them. They're not here legally. So get out. Sorry, dude. I just it just pisses me off.
Tinfoil? I see you got a mic.
Hey guys, I'm still waking up. I overslept this morning. For some reason I can't share the space. X is fighting back with me. I'm not sure why. That was weird this morning. I'm gonna try again here in a minute. But I saw the aliens.gov last night, and I want to say I laughed with it, but I honestly didn't. I was actually kind of disappointed. But I will give him credit. He is the master troll. But I kind of get why he did it, or why they did it that way. But at the same time, it felt like it was kind of a slap in the face for the UFO community, because we really want to know what's out there. But at the same time, I did see a post last night about him saying that they're going to release more of the UFO documents, and it's going to be a lot more interesting information coming out here soon. So that was kind of like the little reprieve last night for me on it, but I don't know. I just wish he was going to tell us who's out there and just get it over with. And it's just, I want to sound like I'm excited about it, but I'm just kind of over it, honestly. But I'll land there.
Well, maybe that's what they're doing there, Tin, on purpose, just to make it so exhausting and, get people disappointed. And then all the truth comes out and they're like, yeah, alien schmalian. Okay, fine.
Or it could be Trump. He's the ultimate showman, so he's going to leave it to the end to reveal it.
Yeah, well, the truth is always out there, and I'm sure, Tin, you'll be happy coming up soon, right? Go ahead, Russ.
I would just wanted to say that I'm not much of a. I don't even watch movies. I mean, the last movie I seen was 25 years ago. I have nothing for a fiction movie. If it's a documentary or something that was true, that I feel like the people that created it did it according to the real truth, then I'll make time to watch it. But I think all that's a waste of time. And everybody I ever met in the whole film industry was just looking for an easy way out, looking for a job that paid well, that they didn't have to really account for anything. And I'm not a big fan of the people in the industry. There's a few, there's some good people I met, but they were just blue collar guys that were, temporary crew. People say, well, why didn't you stay in that business? Well, when the job's over, you're done, unless you got another one to go to. And then the backstabbing, it's just outrageous what they do.
Yeah, man. We're in a definitely time of great revealing and whatnot. We've talked about a lot in these spaces, and people definitely want to know more of the truth. That's why, if you really do understand how Hollywood works, I mean, it's just like right in our face now that, this whole revealing of the alien conspiracies and all this kind of stuff where now Spielberg has a film coming out about it. The film industry has been used for ever since its inception for disclosure. So there's a lot of films out there that, you call them conspiracy theories, and even the movie Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson, they're tasked to reveal truth, and it's about disclosure because, again, legally, it absolves them of any kind of liability because, of course, hey, you didn't watch the movie, we told you the truth. You know what I mean? I mean, just look at the film JFK. Telling everybody the truth, and it's just a film. No, they're required to. Believe you me, after all my time in the industry, I know exactly these conversations, these meetings that are held. It really is disclosure, whether you want to believe it or not. Not all films, but I'm just saying there's a majority of them. And then I see Court came up. It's been a while. So, hey, Nicole, how are you?
I'm doing good. I was actually posting stuff for you guys. So I have been kind of watching, I don't really watch the government because obviously they're not really going to tell you the full truth, but it's interesting what podcasters talk about. And I don't know if you guys know Sean Ryan, but he's like a former government official. He has some kind of background, I guess. I think it's CIA or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But he's been having some interesting conversations with people. Like recently, I just watched the 11 Missing Scientists. And it's just really funny because they're like, don't trust your government. Like, they're not really going to tell you anything. Look outside the source out of that because the Bible talks about UFOs. Ezekiel has UFOs and, that version of that. And so it's just really interesting because it's all going to tie back to the fallen angel. It's all going to tie back to Mount Hermon. It's all going to tie back to Jesus and the biblical stuff that we've all known about for ever, really. And then not to mention the U.S. Marines. There's U.S. military that have been talking about this, like Bill Cooper, Alma Bird. There's this U.S. Marine, Michael. I don't know his last name, but I'm posting it down for you guys. So tinfoil, if you want to watch it, it's really interesting. It's a U.S. Marine talking about when he was overseas, he was actually seeing UFO experiences and actually saw humans being taken and these advanced technology engineer machines. But the thing is, a scientist being killed, that's been happening for decades. Like Bob Lazar, he's kind of the one that they tried to remove out of existence because he worked for Area 51. My grandpa, he was in the Air Force. He worked for he worked at Area 51 in Cheyenne Mountain. So there's a lot of us that already know about these secrets because our families actually were involved in this stuff. And I'll land my plane on that.
Well, thanks for coming up here. I'm sure Tin is appreciative. And yeah, it's always definitely in my book. Uh, spiritual battle always has been, always will be. So whatever is being disclosed, whether there are other beings from other galaxies or whatever, it's neither here nor there to me. I think it is fascinating. We all want to know. Yes, there's lots of footage and they're releasing more and more, but like you're saying, will they ever tell us the real truth plainly right in our face? Probably not. That's where they cover their ass with the disclosure through the film and television industry, and they joke about it too. If you would, if you watch a lot of different stuff, just like these little one-liner things where you're like, holy crap, anyway. It's good to have you up here, though. Thanks for jumping in. Tin, you got any response to this?
No, I appreciate the information. I really do. And I will say it's hard for me to buy into the fallen angel ideology part of it because I just can't believe that they're all just fallen angels. Part of me believe there are some good species out there. So that's the hardest part for me to kind of buy into. But the other part of it, I do appreciate because I've read a lot of the other stuff by Admiral Byrd and the other groups and Bob Lazar and all of them, and I always found it fascinating. And I just wanted to see what's really out there because I'm hoping one particular species real called the Lorians because I really, really would like to meet them. But I'll keep chugging along, I guess. But like I said, it's just I wish the disclosure happened differently, if that makes sense.
Well, in tinfoil, in a sense, though, you're not wrong. I mean, if you go back to the Book of Enoch, this talks about those things that you're talking about because, in a sense, like they mixed humans with animals, and that's why you have all the Nephilims that look like half human, half animal. So that's why there's a lot that's hidden, but everything's being revealed. But you're not wrong; those things do exist. Reptilians, the Greys, all of that. But it's not the way that we all think. Unfortunately, I hate to say that.
No, I hear what you're saying. I appreciate it.
I think what frustrates me is why does the government feel they have the authority to withhold this information from the people who elect them? They're there to serve us. So what gives them the upper hand to tell us what we should know or what we should know?
It's all under the umbrella of national security.
Oh yeah, you
why
can't
is
tell the secrets because if the people know, then it ruins everything.
Yes, everything's about national security.
You can't control the people without it. Why are we whispering?
I don't know how people do it that actually know about these things. Because, okay, think about this. Like, I just thought about this. If I was in the U.S. military and I saw some UFO experience or just really saw anything happen, I don't think I'd keep my mouth shut. That's just me personally, though.
Well, and the ones that don't keep their mouth shut, they're not here anymore. So
that's true. That's
Or they go to prison.
right. I see Sovereign came up. Good morning.
Good day, everyone. Everybody had their coffee this morning? Ready to go?
Sovereign, I'm in a bad place. I had a really bad dream last night. I'm still trying to work through it, but good morning.
Oh, yeah. So I missed that part. I didn't see Marlon's post of this space. I don't know why I didn't get the message. But so what can you, I'm sure most people in here heard it, but could you do a quick synopsis for me? I'd love to hear it.
Well, since you asked, I had a dream last night that I was trying to catch a flight. I got off the shuttle and had forgot my bag, and the entire dream was trying to recover my bag. And then I had to end up in a lost and found area, and there were bags that looked like mine, but they weren't quite mine. And this went on for hours. And I was going to miss my flight if I didn't get my bag. And then I literally woke up, and the first thing that my eyes saw was my bag in my bedroom, and I laughed. I genuinely laughed, not a fake laugh, but I genuinely laughed. And that's the enigma within the riddle: is why did I have that dream?
Okay, so what's in the bag, Terry?
That I'm not going to talk about.
Oh, but like, I mean, if if you need help interpreting this, it's kind of important, because if it's all about the bag, then it's probably about what's in that bag. I don't know. Are you holding on to something that you shouldn't be holding on to, and it's taking up too much of your time, and you need to just let it go because like you missed a flight because of a material thing? I mean, that's just where my brain is going. But again, like, I don't know. Could it be like, what's in the bag? What's in the bag, Terry? What's in the bag? Oh, goodness.
Well, if we're going to talk about what's in the bag, this is where I have to stop the conversation right here. I mean, I'm not going to talk about what's in the bag. Tinfoil, please weigh in.
It sounds like missed opportunities to me. Like you're waiting for an opportunity for something to occur, and it sounds like it's such a great opportunity that you have a fear of missing that opportunity. So it's like your brain's trying to play through it. I don't know. That's what I kind of picked up off of it.
Right. Or you're not prepared, or you feel like you're not prepared because your bag, you just can't find it. And if I go now without my bag, I don't have the things that I need.
Well, and here I thought that the bag was there all along, so I was looking for something that was already there,
Maybe you just simply don't trust the airlines.
Were you taking a flight
Or the
shortly?
sun.
Were you traveling anywhere?
Well, I know it was an international flight, but I still don't know where I was going. But I just know that the clock was ticking. I am very good about getting to the airport early, so I had plenty of time. I had plenty of time to recover the bag. But by the time the shuttle had come back around, it was not in the shuttle, and then I had to go through that whole process of trying to recover it.
Oh, I know. Just take carry-on. Don't check bag.
It was a carry-on, so Bernie just left it in the damn shuttle.
How do you lose a carry-on that's supposed to be like with you at all times?
That's the thing. I don't know exactly. I don't know if I was on my phone and just walked off with fog brain, but it's horrible.
Well, you got Janina. Maybe she wants to add in here. And then Gail Sue, I got you the mic, and I don't know what happened to you, but maybe you got a call or something.
Hey, Terry. Maybe that bag signifies something more important to somebody else, not just you. And you know that. And if you're planning on taking a trip, this could be telling you not to right now. The answers to the question that you have are right in front of your face. You're just ignoring them. Do you ever think of that?
That's some Joe Rogan deep stuff there, Janina.
I interpret my own dreams. I have to, because I get them all the time. And I have learned. I sit down and I ask God for guidance, and it gives it to me. But yours has been smacking me in the head while I'm working, and it's bugging me. So that's what came up for me.
Did you just say Joe Rogan is deep, Terry? Please.
Oh, you've got to watch the interview he did with the NASA astrophysicist, and they're talking about Einstein's relativity of time and how the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, revolving around the universe at 65,000 miles an hour, and the sun's hurtling at 500. I mean, it was just insane to watch this interview. That's what I'm referring to.
That was a cool interview. I really liked that one. Now I listened to that and I was like, dang.
Sorry.
I've got to put.
Did you call me? Okay.
Well, you had your hand up, right?
Yeah. All right. I got one. Okay, Terry. Are you married?
Hey! This is just about a bag.
You forgot the
I
whole
don't know
bag.
why we got
You
to
forgot
go all
to
in
take
the
your
mud.
wife.
I'm not trying to skirt anything here. I'm just, just talk about the bag. No, I'm not married.
So when you open the bag, does it have a gold glow like in a movie where we never saw what was in the bag?
And it makes the noise when I open it, you know?
And the thing is, I'm even afraid to open the bag right now. Like it's like within 20 feet of me, and I'm not even gonna go anywhere. You know what? I'm probably gonna take it to Goodwill at this point. I'm just gonna donate it.
If you open the bag, they'll open the portals to other worlds.
That's what I was just gonna say, Tin.
Yeah.
It's now a portal.
Have you guys been watching these like crazy videos that are coming out right now about portals and like Bigfoot, Nephilim? Supposedly they're Nephilims. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying it's coming out. It's just interesting. That's all I'm sharing. So.
Well, we're having a portal party at Terry's house. I said portal party, not pot, whatever.
That sounded too much like porta potty.
Not a porta potty, but a portal potty. Porta potty. Can't say it. Talk about tongue twisters. Holy moly. She sells seashells down by the seashore. All right, got it down.
So it's a portal that leads to a porta potty. Got it.
I'm definitely going to have to go back and listen to this space again and write down everybody's opinion to try to figure out my life. But I really appreciate the input because I'm telling you, this would probably cost me $150 to $200 an hour if I went to a therapist to interpret my dream. God bless everybody in this space.
Ain't no party like a portal party. Sorry, go ahead, Russell.
I think the whole key to it is you just don't take the bag and buy clothes when you get there.
That's what I was trying to explain earlier. Just let it go. Let the bag go. It's just stuff. Unless it's like gold stuff, then maybe don't leave the bag.
That's still just stuff.
Well, I'm sure Marlon is getting a thrill out of listening to his normal space. Be filled with this today. No politics. So much fun.
Yeah, I just got a DM from him that said, enjoy co-hosting today because this will be your last time co-hosting. And God bless Marlon. He's looking out for the space. I'm teasing, he didn't send that.
Oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, well, we're glad that people do come to this space. It always amazes me when Marlon's not the host and I'm sitting here hosting that y'all show up. So thank you. I guess would be the time that we ask if you haven't already. I know Tin said he was having difficulty doing a repost, but if you don't mind, the old like and share would be greatly appreciated. Go ahead, Sovereign.
Well, in thinking about Terry's dream, so mine is actually a reality. So I'm curious. So my issue is that I have a bag, but it's always packed. And I don't know why I do it, but it's always packed. Can you?
In case of a fire? Maybe in case of a fire?
I hope not. I've never as far as I've never been involved in something like that. I don't think it's that. It would be too heavy to carry during a fire. It's like a suitcase. I keep a suitcase packed, not a bag.
It's always a just in case, Semper Paratus, always ready. I mean, we've got a few bags down in our shelter just in case a damn tornado comes through. We live in tornado areas, so nothing wrong with that, being prepared.
True. Some of it might be PTSD from the last, since we've been going through all this too, it might be that.
You're just scared of the portal that Terry has yet to open.
I'm afraid to open the bag. Like I said, I'm just terrified to open it now.
Well, maybe you should do it while you're online here with us, in case we can call for help if you disappear through the portal.
That's where we'd need you, Tin, to decipher, where to find him, where he might be projected to be.
Well, I was gonna say now, if it starts having flashing light on top of the bag and it makes a wheezing sound, I am calling dibs on it because it's the TARDIS.
Oh, how did we get here? My goodness.
We got here because when we opened the space, it was just you and I was sharing with you the dream, and then it just kind of, evolved.
If it's the TARDIS, Tidfall, can I go with you just once, please?
Yes, you can join me. We can all go together.
That was one of my favorite shows growing up, and I had the long-haired. I loved him. You're talking in the 70s, 80s. So yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
Maybe we're just kind of fatigued with politics and we need a little sci-fi in our lives.
We do. And by the way, Miss Nika had the time to come in here. I won't reveal what's going on with you, Nika, but we've been praying for you, as you know. How are you this morning?
Exhausted. First of all, I'm losing my voice, just from the dry weather. But yesterday was a very, very long day, and yeah, we'll just leave it there for right now.
Yep, I won't reveal it. But your voice sounds sultry. I like it. It's very nice. I'm just trying to make you laugh, Miss Nika. Yeah. And if you can't co-host or whatnot, you need to bounce out. I know, and I understand. So, but it's good to have you up here and see you and hear you.
I felt bad because I woke up late.
You have every right to sleep in.
Well, I'm also, like, for those that don't know, I'm on the far side of the country, which I never am. I'm used to being on the water on the East Coast, and I'm a couple hours behind now. So my timing is all screwed up and goes along with the voice, I guess.
We will be sultry for this space, at least. It's very nice. I like it. All right. So back to, are we going to the portal, the mystery bag? Have we resolved this, Terry, yet?
I feel pretty good about where I'm at. I've heard I've got to put the past behind me. There's baggage holding me back. Janine, I think, said don't go on the next trip that I thought I was going to go, if I understood that correctly. So there's a lot of good. I really appreciate the input, guys. I really do, because I woke up, I was pretty, you were there, Truth. I told you about it.
Well, so now that we've solved the many mysteries and problems of Mr. Terry's bag and dream, I don't know where to go next. I really don't. I mean, who else has something that we need to solve? Because I mean, we are solvers today. We're figuring out the mysteries of life.
My daughter keeps having a dream about me, and maybe you guys can tell me what it means. Apparently,
the same dream?
Yes, she keeps having the same dream over and over again. And she dreams that there's a school shooter, which she's homeschooled, so that's weird all on its own. And she's there. And the kid is shooting the place up, and he comes running out of the school, and there's a bunch of kids all over the place. And apparently I chased him down, and he ran into a house. I don't even know why I was there, but I chased him down. He ran into a house, and I shot him. I have no idea. It's kind of crazy.
Sounds to me like she just sees her mom as a hero.
Yep, and you basically put to sleep the dreads and horrors of all the brainwashing that our regular schools would be giving her. So it's a good one.
I would probably take it a step further and ask if she can identify the school. because she may be having a premonition. I've ran into people that actually have that ability, and it's wild to hear how they can envision things.
So Tim, I know it sounds crazy, but there are people in my family that do that. And I kind of hope that's not it, because I don't want to shoot a kid. Even if I mean, if I had to, I would, because I do carry when I'm at home. But I really hope that doesn't happen.
No, I will say it may not unfold exactly the way in the dream. The shooting part could be representation of you reporting to the authorities if you figure out what school it is and stopping them in the process. That could be that representation there, and her seeing the shooter in the school could be the representation of his potential actions. That's what I was kind of meaning into.
Interesting. Has this been occurring for a while? Like in weeks or months or years or?
The last couple of weeks, she said.
Well, I mean, if she can identify if it's a school she recognizes around your area, might be a good thing to pay attention to, like Tim is saying.
I'll have to ask her if she's still sleeping.
Yeah, don't wake her up. And I don't even know how or why you're awake. You should just be, with all the stuff that you've been going through, especially yesterday, you should just be chilling out.
The sun here is very bright, Truth.
Oh,
Very
I
bright.
know. I know.
I'm not used to having so much light. It just comes right in the window.
Yeah, it's very invasive. Go ahead, Tim.
I will say there's been times I walked into buildings and I would pick up on something that it's kind of hard to describe what I pick up, but I'll just start describing it to someone who's been in the building a lot longer than I have. And it's interesting to watch their mouths drop wide open because they're like, hey, we experienced that too. And I've always seem to have the ability. And the best way I can describe it, and I really hate the term of it because it's not, I don't feel it's can pick up what's there. And usually I kind of not only I shock myself when I talk about it, but I seem to shock the other people when I bring it up too. It's weird. I still don't understand how it all works, honestly.
So, do you have a premonition about Terry's suitcase? Does he have to open it or not? Sorry, go ahead, Summer.
Terry, you're never gonna live down the bag until we know more. Tinfoil, I think sometimes too, like empaths. So it's like there's many different ways to call it. Mediums, energy reading, right? So we're realizing we're waking up to the knowledge. A lot of people are waking up to the knowledge that, we're energy biofields, right? And so, I notice when I go, I moved into a new place and I'm energetically adjusting because I'm around, because I'm in a box inside of a box, right? I got people on the sides of me and across from me and below me, but our energy, we can feel it. And so, I knew in a move and being around new, different energy, it was going to come with some ups and downs. And the last couple of days, it's been more down than up, but that's why I come here with you guys, because you guys always help bring me up. But it's almost because that energy never really dissipates. It's always around us. And so it's almost like reading that energy in the room that is there. You can even tap into what people are thinking sometimes too. I don't recommend it or, trying it because that's invasive, but sometimes it just happens because that's what our bodies originally were built to do. And that's, by eating healthy and doing these good things and everything that we talk about over the last how many years, that's only helping with these senses that some people have. And you know, everybody has different gifts, and some people that's just happens to be one of their gifts.
And I just wanted to say that and I see Russell's hand up, so Russell, I'll try to be quick. There's a friend of ours that's on this platform. She was having issues in her home, and her kids were just acting oddly. So when I do readings, I try to keep away from if I know someone has kids, I try to keep away from the kids because I don't want to influence them at all and make the situation worse. So a lot of times I'll ask them to, hey, call me in private. And I picked up on an entity in their home, and the way I could describe it, it was like a cowboy / businessman from the 1800s. The way that I can envision his clothing and everything, and I described it, and I found a couple of images online to help represent what I was seeing, and I sent those to her. Well, a few days later, I get a text with an image attached to it, and she found she gave her son notebooks to draw into. And to kind of give you an idea about her son was about 5, 6 years old, very young kid. Well, the picture she sent me was a drawing of exactly what I described. And I told her, it's like, okay, if he's drawing this, he's got abilities too. And I told her the next step is to basically, you'll have to talk to him and ask him, is he seeing these things? And so she took him to a soccer practice, and she basically kind of cornered him and asked him if they're seeing things in the home. And the moment she kind of put that in front of them, the door opened wide open, and they were telling everything they were seeing in the home. And in a way, her son confirmed my ability, which made it. I mean, again, when my ability gets confirmed, it always shocks me because, again, I still don't understand how it fully works. But once we fully understood what was going on, we were able to proceed further, and we did a cleansing. And the way we did it was we did it in a space. There was 12 people in the space with me on the speaker. And the only way, I'm not a very religious person. I'm more spiritual than anything. So when it came to prayer, I just basically told them, like, guys, when it comes to prayer, I really don't know much about it. I just know if you say it, it's supposed to happen. So I told everyone on the panel, it's like, okay, take your favorite protection prayer, and we're gonna start with me. I'm gonna read my favorite one, and we'll just go down the line. And I had my friend attach her phone to a Bluetooth speaker. As we were reading the prayers, my other half was in the audience listening. And he texted me saying that he saw the mic of our friend opened up, and he could hear a male voice. And at that time, we started having audio issues in the space. And I just kept telling people, everyone just keep on going through, fight through the audio noise, and we'll get through this. By the time we got done, my friends started reporting that the energy in the house started feeling lighter. And then when I saw my other half's text, I went back and listened to it. Sure enough, we can actually hear a male voice coming off my friend's mic as we were doing the prayers. So that just made it even weirder.
Well, I don't know if Russell wants to try to follow that up, but go ahead, Russell.
I was just going to say, I've had, I don't know if you call them deja vu is what I get. I walk into places and I feel like I've been there before already. And some things have happened in a dream, and then a few days later it happened in real life. And it was just amazing, you know. And like he said, I don't understand it either, truth and tinfoil. I don't understand what makes it work. And I don't really dream a lot, or at least I don't remember the dreams a lot. But there are certain times in my life, I'd say 4 or 5 times, when I've dreamt something, and then it could be years later, and I walk into a place and feel like I've been there, and the people that I saw in the dream were there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's different
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll leave it there for now. We'll certainly see where this conversation goes. Go ahead, Jeannie.
Yeah, so when I was a teenager, um, I went on a camping trip with my church group, a whole group of us, and we studied My Name is Legion, which is a Bible based Concordia publication that, from a Christian perspective, that talks about the occult. And so I've always held that very close to my heart. In fact, I still have the book and it's amazing. What This is what I believe as a Christian and going through that study is, don't confuse what's happening from a spiritual world with people. Meaning, I believe that if you're hearing stuff and things are happening, those are demons. I do not believe that people come back as ghosts or anything else like that. I think you're dealing with the occult. And my recommendation is stop that. Just stop it. Because they'll 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 they will twist and turn all to snare, and just, you don't need to do that. You just need to say a prayer, say a blessing, and get that person back to Jesus. That's what we do. We don't mess around with the other things that are happening around. So that's just my personal opinion, but I had to share because it was tinfoil, right? I love you.
If you wanted to respond, 10, and then we go to Janina.
Yeah, I got two things. Russell, I recommend you buying a journal type notebook and either pen or pencil for what you prefer. Keep it by your bedstand, and when you wake up after you dream like that, write it down. And then just kind of like write it down, keep it in there, and then refer back to it when those events happen, because you'll start seeing patterns, and you might pick up on something that the universe or even God's trying to tell you. Because it sounds like you're receiving messages, and when they occur in your life, it sounds like you're being told something for a reason. And so I recommend writing it down, and then you'll be able to start seeing what those reasons are, and it might help you in your life in the long run. And Jeannie, I appreciate it. I really do. I've heard that many times, and I've tried ignoring it. When I was in search and rescue, especially around suicides, I picked up on negative entities like you would not believe, to the point where I started talking about it to my chief. Of course, my poor chief, his hair stood on end every time I seemed to talk about it. But um, the more I tend to ignore it, the worse it got around me, to the point where I just said, okay, apparently I'm given a gift, and it's for me to, and it was time for me to deal with it. And when I started, I don't want to say explore it, because I explored it very cautiously, because I've heard the warnings before too. I started becoming more aware of things around me that I never thought possible. I've seen two possessions in my life from two friends, and you want to talk about something that'll scare the hell out of you. Pardon my French, but my God, that really kind of woke me up on some things. Thankfully, they're better today. They were able to handle those issues. But at the same time, I have encountered positive ones, or positive beings, I will call them for now. And it's just interesting. I wish, I just wish I could describe what it's like sometimes, because it's really weird when it all happens, but at the same time, I have helped people positivity with it. Man, I can't speak this morning. and also help people deal with some negative things from it too. And I don't know. I just figured that maybe I was meant to do this, but I'm very, very careful of the way I approach it because um I always tell people it's like, you know, the paranormal, it can be very, very interesting to explore, but be careful what doors you open because you never know what will walk in on you. And you may have something walk into you that you will have a heck of a time trying to get out of there. And so
Just
yeah, go ahead.
tinfoil, just remember what Jesus did with the demons. What did he do with the demons? He cast them out, put them in the pigs. Where'd the pigs go? So just make sure you have your Bible. I mean, if you're gonna hang out here, you better make sure to have the Bible and remember, read the red letters and the Proverbs and the Psalms, and make sure you are staying in that book.
Well, I mean, this always
Because I
poses. Sorry, Jeannie. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, conversations like this, you know, maybe not this particular, but when we're talking about demon possession and things like that, it's very real. Whether you want to believe it or not, it is very real. I have been part of, right in front of my face, watching someone possessed by a demon and have it exorcised and the whole nine. And it is definitely can be a scary feeling, but at the same token, a sense of peace when you know that you are protected. But demons are real. Part of Jesus's ministry, as we read, was about helping get rid of those unclean spirits and whatnot. So it's a conversation I think should be had. Hopefully that without people trying to argue about their belief system or whatnot. I mean, it's a spiritual battle. There is a spiritual world. Those are facts, and not acknowledging it or not talking about it, I think, is part of the problem. And then he always gets into some religious debate and all that kind of crap. Well, meanwhile, it's still going on. I mean, gosh, look at half of the friggin' videos that we see of, loony people on the left having some freak out. And I mean, just look at their eyes. Like they're just possessed. And anyway, it's an interesting conversation to have. So I know Janina had her hand up, and then Sovereign will go back to you, Tim.
Don't forget, Satan presents himself as an angel of light. And what he will do, what his demons will do, is pick someone that you are familiar with, a family member, whatever. And it's usually, well, I saw my aunt today, or I was talking to my brother, or whatever, that are deceased. They will attach onto those spirits, and they will utilize that to promote their evil by preoccupying your mind away from the real truth, which is Christ. So when you hear people say, oh, I saw my aunt, or, oh, I was talking to my mom or my dad, and it's like, wait, they're dead. They're not going to come back. And I hate saying it that way because I lost my parents. I was young. I was only 31 and 36 when I lost my parents. They were only in their 60s. I've lost my brothers and sisters in their 60s. I'm in my 60s now. So if I disappear someday, just say a prayer for me and pray I went the right way. But you got to watch for that kind of stuff too, because Satan's crafty. He's trying to win as many souls as he can get. And he will, these little demons are pretty gnarly. They will pick someone you love. And there is such a thing as a familiar spirit. And it will hit every generation in a family. So it's not just one in the family. It will continue to corrupt and just divert your attentions from what it really should be on. Not trying to step on anybody's thunder, seriously. Just that I've seen this before, and as close as me and my parents were, and my siblings, I've never, ever seen them, heard them, nothing. There are things that'll strike a memory of them, but it's something that I share with them, and I just go, huh, that's odd. And I just walk away and say a prayer because I don't want to open that door for that. So just a reminder, and I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer on a Friday.
No, that's why I said, I mean, conversations like this definitely need to be held. But again, you're getting into the core of people's different backgrounds, different beliefs, different experiences, all that kind of stuff. And if people can be open and discuss it again with the, I guess the, for lack of a better description, the spirit of seek first to understand, then to be understood. If you catch my drift, then possibly the conversation can be had where people are really trying to find out the truth. Because of course, none of us in this room, have that authority to say, as far as my beliefs or my understanding of life is definitely through Christ and through the Bible, and hasn't been proved wrong in over 2,000 years. So I'm pretty much stuck on that. But anyway, Tin, I know you want to respond. Let's see what Sovereign has probably wants to add to the conversation, Tin, if you don't mind, and then we'll come back.
Yeah, I love that we are having these conversations, and it's nice to, hear from people from different backgrounds, because I think it kind of helps, paint a bigger picture. Because it seems like sometimes, I feel like personally anyways, that, we kind of get like, tunnel visioned into things, but there is so much to this world that God has created that we just have no, real concept. And I do, I kind of, similar to tinfoil, where, I'm more of the spirituality and understanding, my creator and his creations and everything around me. And that energy is, we are bioelectric fields, the whole kind of Tesla 369, and that energy never dies. So that's what I was referring to earlier with tinfoil, is that this energy, it's like a energy reading, that energy is still in the world. It's still there. And some people just have that gift to be able to sense it, feel it, interpret it. But, as far as the occult, so I got drugged down the occult path in the sense that God was wanting me to understand it, because in the Bible it says 365 times, do not fear. And what I was around and what was surrounding me and what was coming at me was literally a satanic human trafficking cult. And so in order to deal with them, I had to understand what they were attempting to do to me so that I could counter it, so that I could call out and say, this is, I see what they're doing right now. This is what's going on, because it's kind of, evil has a playbook that they run off of. I mean, that's where the repetitive patterns and all of this stuff that we're seeing come out. And if we don't understand their playbook, how do you counter that? And it's not for everybody to do, right? Everybody's called to different things. And that was just one of those things that God was showing me, like, this is what they are doing. And, I'm giving you the ability to understand it so that you can counteract this and also speak out against it, right? Because when I would fear, it would just embolden them. But once I understand what they were doing, I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. And now I'm not scared of you people. And that takes their thunder away. Like that, like they don't want their dark deeds that are done in the dark to be known, because when you shed the light on it, they scatter like roaches, right? That's kind of the whole point. We want to shed light. Everything that happens in the dark will be brought to light. And it's not an enjoyable path to have to understand, but I think it does need to be spoken about, to people who are willing to listen, so that we do understand more of what, we've been dealing with, what we're up against, that kind of thing. So.
Well, okay. So if we want to get biblical before 10, we get your response here, bud, because I know a lot of people have been adding into it. If we want to get biblical on it, in the book of Ephesians, in the final chapter 6, Paul writes about, putting on the armor of God. And so just listen to these words. It says, finally, be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. Put on the full armor of God so that you will be able to stand firm against the schemes of the devil. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of this darkness, against the spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the full armor of God so that you will be able to resist in the evil day, and having done everything to stand firm. And I can go on further on what that armor is, but when especially that line, especially with all this disclosure and all the stuff that's going on, when it says against the spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places. I mean, think about this, So, again, interesting conversation to have. It's a great one. I definitely always like to go biblically because God always does have the answers as long as you are led by the Holy Spirit and are given the ability to discern, given the ability to say what is true and accurate according to the Bible's principles. Again, so Tin. I know Russell wants to add, but why don't we get to you, Tin, and then we'll hear from Russell and back to Sovereign.
I just wanted to.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Russell.
All right. The most important word of that whole thing that you spoke to me was the very first word, and it said finally. Finally recognize me.
Right, Russell? Paul's coming to a conclusion here, right? When he's writing to the Ephesians. And,
Right.
and this is the end of the chapter. This is the end of the book of Ephesians. Where he's like, okay, finally, here it is. Be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. Is that what you're trying to get at?
Yeah, that's exactly it. There was times I carried my Bible and talked to the CO. I went through some tribulation inside of that place that if he wasn't there, I would have never made it.
No, amen to that, Russell. I know the challenge that you face that no one can really understand unless they've been there, done that. If you've been locked up in a jail cell for whatever reason, you are definitely faced with a lot of personal demons, quote unquote, that you have to fight. And if you don't have God, I don't see how you can survive, quite frankly. But and chasing monkeys, I know you're up here, but your mic is open. I didn't see a hand. Let me just. Did you have something to say?
Oh, sorry about that. I think that was an accident.
No worries. If you got a question, we'll certainly, or you want to jump in the conversation. Tin, what does Sovereign want to add? And then Tin again. And then if you had something to say, chasing monkeys, go ahead.
Oh, Tin's, but go ahead, Tin. I can wait.
I appreciate it. What I just wanted to say was, when I encountered the two possessions, what I saw with the first one was a friend of mine. He was going through a really bad divorce, and he was really upset one day, and it was on a Saturday because I can remember this very, very vividly. And we had a favorite pizza joint up in New Albany, Indiana, and I told him I'd meet him there. And when he showed up, he sat in front of me, and I noticed his eyes were different. But I kind of kept it to myself because I didn't want to add to more of his grief that he was going through. but I noticed something. I felt like something was staining with him. And what was interesting is the amount of anger that was coming from it. And he excused himself. He had to go to the restroom, so he went to the restroom. Whatever was with him was staining with me still. And I could almost hear it where it sounded like it was threatening me, saying that if you keep going down this road, I'm coming after you. Of course, when I heard it, I don't like being threatened. And I distinctly just responded back to it. It's like, you come after me, I'll come across that threshold and turn you into a pretzel. So apparently, when I talked to another friend who is also a medium, I found out I challenged a demon, apparently. What was funny about this, and I know it's not a laughing matter, but the way it just ended was kind of comical. Apparently, it followed me home to my house, and it wanted to influence me, but apparently I bored it to death, and it just gave up and left. Which, the story of my life, apparently. I tend to bore things and they leave. um, but I did ask my friend after it was all over and everything. I asked him, like, but it's like, I gotta ask you a question. I want you to be straight up honest with me. I'm not gonna think you're crazy. Were you seeing things in your house before this divorce started? And he said, yeah, I've been seeing a dark shadow within the home, but I kept ignoring it because I thought I was going crazy for a little bit. And I said, but like, whatever was there, it latched onto you. And I told him how he tried to come after me. And so he was kind of shocked on that. And the second one was a friend of mine up in Vevey, Indiana. I get a call at 3:30 in the middle of the night. It was a FaceTime call. And when I saw it, I had this very unsettling feeling that something was not right. I answered the call. I could see the face of my friend. My friend is about in his 20s, but the face I saw was of a 60-year-old man. And what he was saying was he was going through, like, he was depressed, and life wasn't worth it. It got so serious that he even pulled out his firearm and was pointing it at himself, to the point it freaked me out. And at that time, his wife came in. I started screaming for her. She got it away from him. She hung up the call before I could say anything. And I was called a couple days later, and it was my friend again. He was fine. He looked like he was back to normal. And I basically told him, I was like, dude, I need you to be straight up honest with me. What happened? And he told me that apparently he was seeing things in the home. He was trying to ignore it. And apparently it was influencing him to the point that even his wife noticed. His wife went to his mom and they were trying to research demonic possession. And she was able to get her hand on a cross, and she put it on the door, and apparently that was enough to run this thing off. I told him that you guys need to find another place and move out of that place. There's something really wrong with the house they were in. And shortly after that, they moved out. And that's what kind of woke me up to demonic possession, because I still remember that face. That was the most evil looking face I've seen. Because, like I said, it looked like a 6-year-old man with a one heck of a sinister smile. And it was enough to freak me the heck out. But those are the ones I ran into, and I just want to share that with you guys, because for the longest time, I wasn't really bought into the whole demonic thing. But after seeing that and being in search and rescue and dealing with a couple of suicides, there's definitely negative entities out there. And you definitely don't want them following you, attaching them to you. And one thing that I've learned to help combat it, and this is one thing I really love about God, is that his unconditional love. His unconditional love help protects against things like that, because these things can't stand it. And that's what I'm finding out. Yeah, definitely all I can say is when you're struggling and you're having issues you're going through, be mindful where you go to clear your mind, because you might be walking yourself right into an infestation, and something could latch on to you very easily and influence you further negatively. And don't allow it to happen, because we all struggle with things. We all go through things in life. And when you're struggling, that's when you rely on the people you love to help you through it. And that'll help protect you. And I'll land there.
Thanks, Dan. I'm not sure who had their hands. Was their hands up again? So we didn't get to hear from you, Chasing Monkeys. Did you have something to add to the conversation here?
No, I'm good.
Sovereign has her hand up.
Thanks. So two things I was thinking of, and if you can kind of help me understand this, because I know that what you said, Truth, you know, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but I have a hard time sometimes when I hear that, because when we talk about demon possession, that literally is them in the flesh. But I realize, like, it's a entity, demonic spirit, but it's in the flesh. So that one always kind of trips me up a little bit. I get it, but I kind of don't. I'm working on that stuff. The other thing too, and again, I keep going back after what you were talking about, tinfoil, is, I go back to energy, and so there's a reason why we talk about, low vibe, high vibe, these demons, if you will, entities. They're of a low nature, they're low vibe. And so, that's what we talk about when you start praying and you're lifting, God is lifting you up, it's pulling you out of that low energy, right? So, like, you come out of church and you're feeling really good, you're high vibe, you're feeling good because you got the Holy Spirit, you've been talking about, you're in your faith, you're with God. And so that makes a difference. But here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize too, I think, is that when we go through life, and this is exactly what evil wants, it wants to traumatize us. It wants to give us scars. It wants to give us, all of this stuff. And we start accumulating it as we grow. And, have we dealt with it? Have we not dealt with it? And that's where, the whole thing about triggers come up, because when you have kind of that scar or an open wound, something that you haven't healed from yet that has happened to in your life, it is like an opening for these demons or spirits, entities, to find their way in. And so, and of course, they always want to try and find, they want to get into those high vibe because they feed off of that. And that's what drains a person. That's what drags a person down. It is literally something that is feeding off of you. But so I believe that, in things that Jesus spoke about and how to be, it's dealing with that. So I have found that, like, when I find something that, maybe is unresolved within myself, and like I'm hearing some kind of, it's definitely not God talking to me, it's trying to get at me. I'm also thankful, and I say thank you, and it completely discombobulates this evil. Because it's like, wait, what? But I'm thankful because this thing just showed me a spot, and God allowed it, because now God is saying, okay, now I'm removing that thing from you, but now this is an area I need you to see that you need to work on, so that you can't be invaded through that anymore. You can't be tempted through that anymore. I don't know if any of that makes any sense to anybody, but that's kind of how I see things.
Well, it's a lot said there, Sovereign, and we're all on our own understanding, our own spiritual journey. The more you read the Bible, in my humble opinion, the more and more you're revealed the truth. It is the living word. There's so much power in it. But I mean, to finish off, not to finish, but to, when I read, for our struggle not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers and powers and against the world forces of darkness and spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places. And then Paul goes on to say, and this is important, therefore take up the full armor of God so that you will be able to resist in the evil day, and having done everything to stand firm. So how we armor up, how we combat these things, it says, stand firm therefore, having girded your loins with truth. So your root, your gut of who you are. What is truth? There is only one truth, and that is Jesus. I am the truth, the way, and the life. Right? So you're starting, you're putting on your belt. It's truth. Your gut's feeling, right? And then having put on the breastplate to protect our heart. How do you protect your heart? With righteousness, of righteousness. And none of us are self-righteous. That's a whole different type of BS. We're talking the righteousness of God, right? And then having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace, meaning your stance, you're standing firm, right, in the ground, with what? The gospel of peace, of Jesus. That's your foundation, right? He's the cornerstone. And then it says, in addition to all, taking up the shield, so how we protect ourselves of faith, right? With that, with which you will be able to extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. So our faith is what protects us. And then it says, take the helmet of salvation. So our head, as we know, our brain, if your brain gets injured or whatnot, you die. So how do we protect where our mind is at, where we're thinking? Through the helmet of salvation, knowing that our belief in Jesus gives us eternal life. That's our salvation. We know that, and protects us from this. But what's our only weapon? Because it says, and the sword of the Spirit, that's our sword, that's our only weapon, which is the Word of God. So, reading through the Bible, that's your weapon. And Jesus gave the example when he was tempted by the devil, and instead of striking the devil down, which he could have easily done, he set the example for us, and he fought Satan himself with God's word and started quoting Deuteronomy to him. So, again, people who don't believe, I get it. It may sound like, what in the heck are they talking about? This is where I've spent a lifetime trying to read through all kinds of self-help books and all this kind of crap and occult and all the different faiths and everything. I've spent my lifetime going through that stuff. The only thing I have found to be absolutely true, unshakable, and no one has ever been able to prove otherwise is the Bible. And the more you read it, the more historical documents other than the Bible that confirm Jesus. It's hard to deny once you really engulf yourself within it. And believe me, I have been a worldly man. I have lived a crazy life, like all of us have, different experience. My experience in the military, seeing death more than you can imagine, it shakes you to your core. Like, what the hell is this all about? What is life about? Why are we here? What am I doing? Especially today, with all the stuff that we talk about in these spaces every day, with Marlon running it or me running it. We're talking about political turmoil, all this stuff, our country being taken over, all kinds of stuff, right? It's a constant spiritual battle we're in. So how do we fight that? Because, the physical battle really doesn't mean anything. It's the spiritual battle. It's what's behind it. It's the psychological war, the battle that we've been basically bombarded with, that we're bombarded with every day. It's always the psyche that's affected, right? How we think, what we feel. I hope I'm making sense, but anyway, I don't know who was first. You got to help me, Terry and Nika, if it was Tin or Jeannie, and of course, if you guys want to chime in, go ahead.
It was Jeannie.
Well,
so I really, really, really appreciate the Ephesians chapter, because that is I taught that song to my kids. Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty powers. Ephesians 6:10. Anyway, we also have to remember, and I say this all the time, but I don't think people really understand what I mean. And that is 2 Thessalonians 11 through 12. So God will send them a powerful delusion so that they will believe the lie, in order that judgment may come upon all who have disbelieved the truth and delighted in wickedness. So Paul is describing the final days before Christ's return, when the man of lawlessness, the Antichrist, which I think there are more than one, but that's my thing, will rise with Satan's powers, his signs, his wonders, and all wicked deception. This deception is not random. It is a judicial response from God to those who have persistently rejected the truth and taken pleasure in unrighteousness. So that strong delusion is not a general spiritual weakness, but a divine enabling that makes it easy for the lost to believe the lie. And it's always tied to the Antichrist's false claims, such as claiming to be God and demanding worship, and the false prophet signs and wonders. And so I looked then into what is judicial hardening. How does that happen? So judicial hardening by God, he did it to Pharaoh after the repeated rebellion in Exodus. He put judicial hardening on Ahab, allowed a lying spirit to deceive false prophets in First Kings, and Israel made calloused by God after suppressing the truth in Isaiah. So it shows that the delusion is both penalty and exposure of the heart's true allegiance. And so, what are we supposed to do with that, right? The root is human refusal to love the truth. God's hardening does not remove free will, it ratifies chosen rebellion. That's Jeremiah. So, the purpose of the delusion for these people is judgment, public deserved condemnation, separation, the wheat from the tares, purification, testing and refining true believers, revelation, unmasking Satan's counterfeit, and vindication, glorifying Christ as the way and the truth and the life. Amen. I'm like getting the shivers all over. I love Matthew. Man, I tell you what. And I just love everybody in here, by the way. And we just got to keep on this path. I see it. We got to just stay here. We're hanging in. We're doing good. Love ya.
Well, thank you, Jeannie. Yeah, it's again, some people want to talk about this, some people don't. I'm just kind of going by whatever's here in this space, but always a very interesting conversation to have. And Tim, go ahead, buddy.
One thing I also want to point out too, and this will kind of tie back to the whole disclosure thing for me. So one thing I started doing that I'm finding out is that when you have cats or dogs in your home, they can see things that we can't. A lot of times I found out they watch your home in ways that many people may not understand. A lot of times you might see your pet, looking off in the corner of the home and like they're seeing something and you're watching them and you're like, hey, so-so, what do you see? I'm not seeing anything. I found out they can see entities more than we can. And I was able to kind of prove this to myself watching my cat. Is a lot of times she would come up and lay on my chest and I'll be watching TV and I noticed that she kept looking at the front door. And so I checked my security cameras, don't see anything. But she's like really vividly, really looking into the front door. And I was like, girl, what do you see? And she'll stare at it. Well, a couple years before that, when I had my other kitty, I was in my office, which was right across from the kitchen at the time. And she was sitting right in front of my keyboard, and because she wanted my attention, and all of a sudden she looked straight in the kitchen like she saw someone. Or at the same time, I heard a footstep in my home. And what I mean by a footstep, I sound like a heavy-set person walked into my living room. And I looked at my kitty and I said, "Oh, please, no, not now. I can't do this now. Like, please don't tell me you see something," because I realized I forgot to lock my door. So I kind of leaned forward, looked around to the kitchen. I expected to see someone there, and I was getting ready, but I didn't see anyone. I looked at my kitty. She's still looking at the kitchen like she sees someone. I look over the kitchen, don't see anyone. I knew this a couple of times, and I'm like, "Oh, kitty, please don't. Please don't. I can't deal with this right now." So this is before I kind of realized my ability. I text my friend who was also a medium. I said, "My cat sees something. I don't know what it is, and I heard a footstep in the home. Can you tell what's here?" Well, I got back. It was a family member in my home of my a family member that I have not quite met because she passed before I was born. But it was one of my on my dad's side, and I was kind of given a warning about my dad, and that was to ask him about his heart. I thought, okay, that's kind of a weird message, and I was like, all right, I'll kind of deliver it, and kind of like I was kind of freaked out at the time, but I finally calmed down. So long story short, um, I told my mom about it. Well, in 2022, my dad passes of a heart attack. Kind of come to find out he was having heart issues that I didn't know about. Long story short, he was taking that Pepsid AC for heartburn, and we found out later that's what led up to the heart attack. But that's another story for another day. Back to what I was saying in my kitchen is I started realizing my cat was seeing something that I couldn't see. So I kept watching my other cats more and more and more. Long story short, I do believe our animals can see things that we can't see, but I also believe they're sent to us to protect us and protect our home because they help keep those things at bay. So if you have a cat, you see a cat running down the hallway chasing something you can't see, they're chasing that energy out of your home to help keep you safe. Dogs, I believe, do the same way in their own way. I haven't studied dogs. I hadn't had a dog to be able to see up close and study. But from when I talk to my friends who do own dogs, I hear a lot of the same things. Um, and how this ties back to disclosure is I've heard of a species called Lorians that are part cat-like species and part humanoid, and they were talked about being the beings of great wisdom and the protectors of the universe. And I thought, oh, that'd be kind of cool to see and to see how it ties into our actual cats here on Earth. And so if they do exist, I'd like to actually meet them and learn more from them and learn about how, because again, you guys will probably laugh at this. I kind of laughed at myself when I did it. I got really deep and thought about this, and I looked at my cat and I asked her, "Katie, question for you." She looked at me and said, "Are you an alien?" Of course, I didn't get the response I want, but I did kind of chuckle when I asked her about it. I do wonder sometimes if they're sent to us from another place to help protect us, protect our home, and protect our families. Because if you watch how canines act when it comes to protecting the home, how they guard even children from predators, cats the same way. So it made me appreciate my cats a lot more in the long run. But yeah, I'll land there.
Well, my dog is just a big goober. I don't think he's thinking about anything except for food, but that's just me. Anyway, I'm glad you got to get that out there, Tin. Okay, so somebody took a chance by bringing a profile up that has 16 followers and just joined. So, James, if obviously this seems like your first time in a space, did you have something to add? Oh, sorry, somebody pressed mute. Go ahead. James, do you hear us?
Can you hear me?
There you go. Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. So I just wanted to share something, and if my voice starts cracking, it's the first time I've spoken in a space, so I'm a little bit nervous. Okay. So somebody was talking about entities attaching to you, and I'd like to share a story about that. Is I had trouble most of my adult life with addiction, and when I finally just bared down and did something to do something about it, and really concentrated on it and really put my whole all in it, I went to sleep one night, and I know it was a demon that was attached to me. And he told me, he said, "I'm not going to release you." He said, "I will win this." And what I remember in that dream is I shouted out, "Jesus, help me." And when I did, all of a sudden I woke up. You know, when you go through something like that, I doubted people when they told me that my whole life. But when you go through something like that, to me, it's always Jesus that we're calling out to. It's not anybody else. That's all I'd like to share. Thank y'all for hearing me.
Oh, amen to that. I appreciate that, James. Yes, it does make a difference. It actually made me think of if y'all hadn't seen a movie, it's on angel.com, which they're putting out a lot of good content, faith-based content. But there's a film called After Death. It's a documentary about people who've had near-death experiences. And, a lot of them have very similar experiences where they are lifted up and they go up and they see the light or they see Jesus and talk to him directly. Just pretty amazing, right? But they also interview people that went the opposite way and were being pulled down in the darkness and having all kinds of just crazy, like very scary experiences. But like you just said, James, in their last minute of desperation, they called Jesus' name. And that was the only thing. And they got turned right back around and started ascending, and it's a great film. If y'all hadn't seen it, please, I'd highly recommend it. It's on angel.com and it's called After Death. But I appreciate you jumping up and taking the courage just to help you out where people might follow you back. You might want to put a profile picture. Doesn't have to be yourself. You can see most people have crazy stuff on their profile pictures. You know what I mean? But that way people will tend to bring you up and talk to you and stuff like that. So I give you a follow back there, James, and come on back here. We do this Monday through Friday, starting at about 9 a.m. ish East Coast time till who knows, whenever around noonish. So glad you're here, bud. Well, this has been an interesting space. It started with a suitcase and a dream. I had a suitcase and a dream, and I lost my damn suitcase, and I couldn't find it. And here we are, talking about demons and possessions and all that stuff. Go ahead, Terry.
It was an overnight bag, not a suitcase. Let's keep the story straight. So
boy. Oh man, the details, right? Well, no, we've discovered that the suitcase is a portal, though, which you have yet to open. So, but it's fun to joke around about these things, and I know people try to make light, of course, especially if people are nervous and whatnot. And if you don't know, how to interpret crazy spiritual experiences, entities, whatever. I mean, the truth is always right in front of us. We just kind of gotta, get it. Like alcohol, for instance. People do some crazy stuff on alcohol, don't they? Well, what was alcohol called for centuries? Spirits. There's a reason for that. Why would they call a drink spirits? Because when people drink enough, you open up a part of your body, a portal, if you will, to allow spirits to come in there. And that's why people have full blackouts. They don't remember a dang thing about it. So the truth is always right in front of us. We just got to realize it.
Well, we've seen the videos of people like, let's say, L.A., and they're the homeless people that are so drugged out of their mind. They're doing this kind of only thing I can call is a satanic type of jerk movement. And you see that same type of movement in people that, I feel, it's just my personal opinion, that because they're under the influence of drugs, that they become a host to a demonic spirit and it's taking them over. So that's when I work the road, I would see this type of behavior in people, who are heavily under the influence of some type of drug or whatever.
Well, yeah, man. And like I said, some of these freak out videos that we see of, some loony leftard just having a meltdown. I mean, look at them very carefully and closely. Most of them that I've seen are total demon possession. And I've seen a possessed person. People don't have to believe me, and I don't give a damn because I was right there and you weren't. So, blah. But I've seen someone possessed by a demon where their face literally changed form, their eyes, the whole nine. Then the demon was exorcised by a bunch of pastors, and that kid's face literally reformed right in front of my eyes. It's a spiritual experience, and unless you've seen it, I could get how hard it is to believe. Because unless I saw it, I would have a hard time accepting, what somebody says. We all do. We all have skepticism. That's a healthy thing to have, right? But God is always with us, always knocking on the door. Hey, look, I'm here. That's I guess the beauty and the catch-22, if you will, of faith and of our God is that He gives us free will. That's why this country is done so well, because this country is based on principles of God. Our freedom comes from God. The Declaration of Independence states that 4 times, right? Not from man, not from government, from God. And when you start to get that this nation is a Christian nation, always has been, but the decline that's happened in our country is due to us putting God to the side and us allowing that to happen, and the bastardization of quote unquote churches, people who call themselves Christian. Perfect example, if we want to get political about it, is that, what is that guy's name in Texas going up against Paxton now?
Tallarico or something?
Yeah, there you go.
Horrid.
Just an abomination, a straight spawn of Satan, if you will. The stuff that he's saying regarding biblical teachings is it's so disgusting, it's so wrong, it's so evil. And that's just one example. There's tons of them out there, but these are the conversations that people need to have. And if you don't have faith, you don't have faith. But the truth of the matter is, God's always calling everybody. He didn't want anybody to lose their soul. He didn't want anybody to go to hell. He really doesn't. But He gives you the free will. He can't force you. He can't force you to believe in Him. Period. And that is, again, like I said, the beauty and the catch-22, if you will. It's on you. We all have a personal responsibility to respond to the calling. All of us. Whether we do it or not, whether we realize it or not, you've heard it enough times, so you might want to look into it. Don't let me tell you. Read the Bible. I dare you. Even if you want to try to prove it wrong, read it. Read it. It's a good thing. Go ahead, Tim.
I also found out too, one thing I kind of explored too as well is when I watch a lot of these paranormal shows and stuff, there's one I actually watched that called Paranormal Nightmare TV. And it sounds like a weird name, but it's actually 3 brothers that live in the Ohio area. And they had such a paranormal experience when they were kids. So they became paranormal investigators when they grew up. And they go around helping people experience in their homes and stuff. And I had to notice in some of the ones that I were dealing with some really bad stuff in their homes, that their home looked very similar to mine. And I was like, why are they getting affected? But I seem to be lucky, knock on wood, that I don't get affected. And I started looking around how my home was set up. And if you guys ever saw my living room, you would every person that's been into my home will say that my home feels very cozy. And I remember when I set up my home, I wanted it to very, very warming, inviting, and cozy because I know you living by myself. That was going to be it's going to be like a challenge. And I found out that color does seem to play a role in it. If you tend to stick with grays, kind of like neutral colors, it kind of aids in depression in a way, if that makes sense. Which if you have depression, it seems to attract those things. But at the same time, you have like I have bold colors, and like it just makes you feel like really inviting, very cozy, very comfortable. And so there's like a happy vibe in the home quite a bit. And I noticed that I never seem to have an issue. And so I think colors do play a role of, if you look at back in the 70s and the 60s, how colorful things were back then compared to now. Things are so dull and gray. Actually, my other half and I, we have a thing, what we call some of these apartments getting set up, we call it the millennial gray, because it's just so neutral, so uninteresting. So I don't know if there's something into that or something, but it's something interesting to look into, though. I just want to kind of point that out too.
Well, God's promise left for us to never flood the world again. That's a lot of colors in that rainbow. Go ahead, Sovereign.
Well, yeah. So I'm going to go back to energy and frequency again. So energies have or color has a frequency. Everything has a frequency, and colors definitely do. And they've done, research in the past. Certain colors can make you hungry. Certain colors can make you feel this certain way. And again, it goes back to that energy and frequency. But I know what you're saying, tinfoil. Like I have a lot of people too. Like my home, the way it's set up. For me, because this is my space. Like this is where I'm always talking to God. This is where I'm, praying. So it has to be set up very calm for me, very relaxing, a very special space for me. But I use colors too. I've like my couches are like a dark charcoal. It wasn't really my choice. I just had to go with it. But I have the warm like earth tone colors, rust and mustard and green. And I've too had a lot of people, they come in, it's like, oh, I just feel so calm, and they can just rest and relax. There is definitely something to all of that. It matters, those things matter. I mean, we're inundated as a society with signs and symbols and colors and flashing lights and all of that. It's like, and God's over here like, you're missing my signs, you're missing my symbols, you're missing this, because all of this loud, noisy stuff. And so when I go out in the world, it's like noise, noise, noise. And then when I come back to my space, it's where my mind, and I'm like, oh, okay, there you are, God. Now I can hear you better. I can connect with you better. I can, speak with you better because I'm in this calm space where I'm not just constantly, bombarded with society's information. It's an overload out there. And I really believe that's part of why a lot of people suffer from, I don't know what the term is called, but, they're out, it's too much, right? There's too much, stimulation. It's too much stimulation. And I think that could definitely be a negative thing. When our body is craving, we just want to be able to connect with God. It can be very difficult to do at times when there's that overstimulation happening around us. But that's really cool, Tin.
And Sovereign, what's interesting, the colors you listed are very close to the colors I have in my living room. That's interesting.
Well, go watch the sunset, people listening. When's the last time you actually watched? Look at the sky, how it changes color. It's pretty awesome. Or go put your feet in the grass, walk around.
It's a living painting. I always like when we have days where there's big fluffy clouds, I'll go out there and just watch them float by and change shape. And I'm like, Creator, you are the best painter ever. Like it's a constant, beautiful, just painting that he's painting all the time in the sky. It's cool.
We had, I think it's Kay Swizzle threw a thing in the pill. for color psychology chart. So specific hues that are mapped there. So check it out. Thanks for sharing. I haven't heard from my co-hosts in a while. So I just want to check in with them. How are you guys doing? We have Miss Sultry with her voice. Go ahead, Terry.
I'm still wondering if I should open my bag or not. I'm a little, just
Do it after the space. So if you go through a different portal, we'll know if you don't show up on Monday. Maybe you'll make it back before Monday.
right. To those that just joined, I'll make it quick. We started a space that I had a dream. I was about to catch an international flight, left my overnight bag on the shuttle, and the whole dream was about trying to recover the bag, of which I never recovered, only to wake up and the bag was next to my bed, which put a smile on my face and made me laugh. That's how I started my Friday.
Well, speaking of spaces, again, if this is your first time here, we do this Monday through Friday, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern until around this time, which we are going to wrap this up. But also, I did put in the top and down the bottom. If you're interested, there is a weekly prayer space that for our country. Been doing it quite some time now, so it's every Saturday morning, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern. So you kind of got to get up a little early. But if you can make that, it's under that handle at Studying God. So we just simply pray for our country and then read some Bible scripture and have some fellowship. So if you feel like you are looking for a space like that, there you go. If anybody else has anything that they want to, promote or any spaces that y'all like, don't hesitate and just put it down the pill so people can do it. But we are going to start wrapping this up. Go ahead, Sovereign.
Well, I'm just wondering, since Terry won't let us get to the bottom of this bag, quite literally, because he won't tell us what's in it, we're never really. Can you give us a hint by posting a picture of what potentially could possibly be in the bag? Or I'm going to be up at midnight tonight and I'm going to be like, Terry.
Oh my God, I'm dying. That's cracking me up, Sovereign. This is now turned into me not being able to recover my bag to what the hell is in the bag, Terry. We want to know what's in that bag, and we want to know now.
It reminds me. I'm sorry, Terry, but it reminds me of the movie Seven, where what's in the box? Well, no.
That's why I keep saying it that way, Truth. That's exactly what I thought when I first came in here this morning and you guys were talking about that bag. What's in the bag? What's in the box? I didn't want to say it though.
Sounds like the 80s to me.
Right.
You got the 80s hiding in that bag?
Probably the 70s. There's probably a black light poster and a lava lamp in there.
Oh, now I know what's in the bag.
With some corduroys and some bell bottoms.
That was the 60s.
Yeah, I had them all. I was rocking my corduroys, man. Come on now.
Big ones.
Okay, that just reminded me of something when I was very young, Truth. I was at a daycare thing. I was really little and I was wearing corduroys. And this little mean girl, we were sitting out in the grass and the little girl told me, she said, grasshoppers will eat corduroy. And she scared me off the grass.
What? What? Oh my God. The things that kids say, it's unreal. Miss Nika, are you done? Did you have anything you wanted to add? I know you got so much going on in the background. Okay, we are going to let Nika off the hook. All right. Anybody else that's up here? Any kind of final thoughts, final words?
I'll let speakers go first.
I will say that So, Terry, if your bag starts making that wheezy sound and it disappears, then that definitely was the TARDIS.
You're killing me, Tim.
If you have the flux capacitor in there.
Okay. I was very brave, and I opened the bag. And the first thing I saw, you're not going to believe it, Drew. Remember what I was missing a couple of weeks ago when we opened the space?
Your brain? I don't. What was it?
My missing sock.
Ah. Oh, it's not on the dark side of the moon. It's in your suitcase. Okay.
You know, when you do laundry and you always have a missing sock, it seems, it turns out it's been in the bag. So the dream was so that I would find the sock.
So it really is a portal, because I've been convinced that these missing socks, they gotta go through a portal. So they end up from the portal of our washing machines into Terry's bag. Mystery solved.
If you're missing any socks, please feel free to send me a direct message. Thank you.
So
we thought they were on the dark side of the moon. Go ahead. Sorry.
So it kind of lives up to that quote: "When you're lost, you're found." From Time After Time, Sydney Loeffler classic 1983 hit.
Yeah, that was at our school dance there, Tim. Show you how old I am.
Man, I'm so.
For every
Go ahead, Nathan.
missing sock, you get a new Tupperware lid.
Yes, you do.
Dude, we should open a website and just have everybody put up the one sock and see how many matches we can have. You know?
Right. And like we talked about earlier, if you have that one sock, you just can't go buy one sock. You've got to buy another pair. Then you have three. Okay. You're still no further. I mean, the anxiety is still there.
I can tell in your voice, dude. You sound stressed out.
Truth, that might actually be a legit, like, that might take off. Like, I think it would be a phenomenon. Like, everybody just, you put pictures up of a single sock and see, oh, it's like the matching game. When we were kids, we can do the matching game, but online.
Oh, we got to use the music too.
So when you have an extra sock, does that mean you have a WinSock error and you have to Control Delete and reboot? Sorry.
Well, it's going to get into a bidding thing because, okay, that dude's got my sock. I kind of want that. And then the other person on the other end is like, no, you got my sock. So then they can bid between it. Who gets it?
And then you have to post like where, like what state it's in. And then people will be like, how did my sock end up in North Carolina? And I live in...
I'm doing it. Go ahead, Derek.
I just reunited the sock with the other sock, and the music started playing. Reunited. It feels so good.
You got Lionel Richie going. Oh my
Somebody
goodness.
please, you gotta make it. You gotta do it. Do it.
I can whip up a website like that. But what do we title it?
The sock portal.
The sock portal. I don't know. We got to figure it out.
So I posted in the pill a image of a poster, or it's an image of a sock that says "No sock, no peace."
Oh God, what was that, Nathan?
Do y'all remember Ren and Stimpy? They did an episode where they found all the missing socks on Mars.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Of course, it's gonna be on Mars. Maybe that's why Elon wants to find all the missing socks.
He's gonna monopolize them. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll get a URL that works, and we'll start building that site. And I'm like you're saying, it could take off, and people might just start posting pictures of their one sock.
I mean, nobody's done it. It's very novel. Like everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody in here has wondered at some point, where are my socks going to? I'm telling you, this is gonna be it. This is our big moment, Truth.
Well, a lot of marriages have ended because of missing socks.
Yeah, Hillary, she's always hiding one of my socks.
Oh, see, this is the way to end the Friday space. Just laughing because we need more laughter, man. We really do. In this crazy world, all the damn politics that we talk about each week, it's nice and refreshing to talk about missing socks.
Your space is like a box of chocolates. You just never know what you want to get.
Mr. Welly, do you know who I am? The Antichrist. He got me in a vendetta kind of mood.
We even have Christopher Walken. What more do you people want? What more do you want?
Okay, so we should do like everybody should come up with ideas for names, and then we can vote on the name for the sock website.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, throw them in the bubble. If you got an idea for a URL, I'll go grab it and whip up a website. And Marlon is definitely going to come in on Monday like, what the hell were you guys talking about?
How about the sock master instead of the puppet master? Because you can do puppets. Because we would make puppets out of the single socks, right? Like with your kids, put the googly eyes on it. Oh, that's what we could do. That could be the logo. It's like a puppet sock. We could call it Master of Socks, maybe sock master. No, sock master.
You're getting very Metallica on it.
Just because Metallica does the song.
Yeah. Too. And then Tin just put up Socks Lives Matter.
How about put a sock in it?
Oh, dude, you guys, next time Marlon is hosting, you all got to bring this conversation up again just to drive him crazy. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I got to catch my breath. Sorry. Oh, man. All right. We need some laughter, and we got it. Sockless.
Sock it out.
Sock it out.
Sock it to me. Sock it to me.
Sock it to me. Where's my sock? Socks are us.
Dude, where'd I leave my sock?
Sock 911.
Only socks.
Did you baptize that one?
That's gotta be it. Oh my God. I'm going right now to see if I can buy that somewhere.
You know what's funny is we could set up a site. We could set up a site. They order the sock, and you ready for this? They never get the sock.
Wait, can we do only socks in one bag?
Oh my God. Oh, help me, Lord. I gotta find it. Hold on.
Dear customer service, I ordered a sock to replace my missing sock, and I never received my sock.
See, now you guys got Skinny up here. Here we go. Go ahead, Skinny.
I really thought about this carefully. Can somebody call me, please?
Call you what?
Call me. Come on, man. It's in the soundboard. It's the telephone.
Oh, no.
Yeah, missing sock department. Skinny speaking.
Yeah, this is Bill, and I think I'm missing a sock. Is there any way you could help me with that?
Yes, sir. I suggest you go to Monica's apartment and look under her bed. Probably a great place to start.
Well, I can't do that. Last time I had anything to do with her,
Send the Secret Service.
I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to help me. I can see.
Go buy some new socks, sir. Walmart's open 24 hours, gents. Let's go.
Skinny, you have to promote the site though. Only socks.
No, I'm the whatever the Doge is for socks. I'll find them.
There's another.
Was it a gym
There's
sock?
another one.
Dress sock.
Sock Doge. We got to do Sock Doge. Oh my God.
DOSA, Department of Sock Accountability. Kenny speaking.
This is,
It has become very
Who
evident to
paid for
me.
those socks? How many socks has the American taxpayer paid for? You ever think of that? Missing effing socks. At least 4 trillion.
I don't know, but
Guarantee
they're
it.
always giving them away at homeless shelters and hospitals. So there's
Exactly. They're all I don't know which nation is in on the sock fraud, but we can guarantee it's they're probably funny looking.
this sock fraud.
Imagine being the guy at Goodwill that has to try to mate the socks that everybody's donated a single.
I run the dryer now.
What if it's aliens and they're just looking? They're looking for our DNA from our feet shed.
Right.
I say the sock goblin looks like Gizmo from Gremlins. Made of lint.
Or Groku.
Oh, man.
Just don't get them wet.
I'm
No,
crying.
Groku has some self-respect. He's not messing with nobody's dirty socks, dude. We know what happens with socks, guys. Come on.
Dude, so somebody owns onlysocks.com, bastards.
What was that? What was that company? Didn't Danica Patrick used to drive for the one that like secured website domains?
GoDaddy.
Yeah. Does anybody own Sock Daddy?
Right. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. This is just. I'm looking. You guys think I'm kidding, but I'm not.
I sure hope Marlon signs like a I don't know, some kind of legal contract with you every time you step in for him. Truth.
Hey, Truth, look up in the Jumbotron when you get a chance.
Holy sucks. Oh man. Oh, sorry, Marlon.
Hey, just be glad Frantic didn't show up, or Doctor Send feet pics, for that matter.
All right.
Can we do do like a Dr. Seuss thing? One sock, no sock. We gotta do something with a Dr. Seuss sock.
Right.
Uno sock.
Oh man. I was crying. I'm telling you, this is funny. And Marlon won't even take a mic now. He's just
I wouldn't either.
He's probably
I really had to think about this for 2 minutes at least before I requested.
Croc socks.
Yeah, that's a felony. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. So they when you look up to get a domain, if it's not available, then they make you some suggestions. So I don't know how they came up with this suggestion where I put in onlysocks.com. I was like, well, not available. Onlychop.com. Like what? Onlycuff.com. Onlywhack.com. Like,
oh boy.
What the?
Oh boy.
Well, with Truth, you could still make it onlysocks.us or .org or .something.
Well,
.gov.
yeah,
.gov.
I can.
Come on.
.gov, .edu, right? But it says what's available is sniff socks. Oh man, am I? Is this the Twilight Zone? Because I feel
maybe we should offer, if you find a mated sock, you get to receive a free picture of the foot with free foot pictures.
Oh yeah, that's a whole fetish.
The next question is it the left or the right sock?
Right. There you go.
Excuse me, people. How dare you misfoot my sock? All socks are ambiguously both footed. Unless they're like, is anybody making custom socks these days? I'm sure they are. That's a dumb question. I'm sure there's rich people socks out there that definitely depend on which this space.
Hey,
right.
Yeah.
our socks are a diversity, Skinny.
I have some dress socks that had a left L and an R on.
If you've just joined our space, we've got more listeners now talking about these socks, Drew. This is evolving around the fact that I had a dream that I lost a bag on the way to the airport, and I woke up and I looked for the bag. The entire dream couldn't find it. Woke up and the bag was right there, and I just opened the bag, and there was a sock that I've been looking for several weeks. And now we're trying to think of a website, what to call it, that will only sell a single sock for the people that won't buy a pair to replace. I'm just going to stop.
Can we do Make America's Socks Great Again? Make America's.
Well, then that would say Massa. Probably not a good one to go with. Make American socks great again, or whatever.
Oh, mated. No, wait. Matched. America's matching America's socks.
Hey, what's her name? What's her name? My brother's new mega boss. Rollins? Is it Rollins?
Brooke Rollins.
No, yeah, the gal.
Department of Ag.
Did you see what she posted yesterday, folks? American Cotton. So you never know. Socks could become our number one industry before you know it. Followed shortly by the online sock porn industry.
Terry, this started out just like how my Mini Winnie and Friends saga started out.
This is a textbook case of why self-disclosure is so risky. I talk about a dream and look at where we're at.
Dreams really do come true.
Yeah, they do.
Oh my goodness! All right, I am bringing this to an end. I'm sorry. So
just ignore Marlon's DMs, dude. You got this.
Marlon who? Marlon who? What?